What if I told you there's this kind of hidden force, a secret engine that is quietly reshaping pretty much everything in technology? And yeah, in your business too. It's this powerful principle that, once you really get it, can give you this massive, almost unfair advantage. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain. And it all starts with a super simple question.
Okay, so to get us started, just a straightforward question. Which one of these two pieces of tech do you think has more raw computing power?
So on the left, you've got a 1995 Cray supercomputer. I mean, this thing was an absolute beast. It cost $15 million and took up the space of like a bunch of refrigerators. And on the right, a modern smartphone. Costs about $1,000, fits right in your hand. So what's the answer? Well, it is not even a contest. Your phone is literally thousands of times more powerful than that supercomputer. I mean, how is that even possible? Well, that incredible, almost unbelievable leap is exactly what we're here to unpack.
So how in the world did we get here? This kind of mind-bending progress, it's not magic. It's actually driven by a powerful, predictable principle that we're going to break down right now.
This whole phenomenon is driven by a principle we're going to call Meucci's law for this explainer. And at its core, it's pretty simple. It's the observation that the amount of computing power you can buy for the same amount of money doubles roughly every 18 to 24 months. Now, this isn't just steady improvement. This is a pattern of explosive, exponential growth. And this really highlights a fundamental flaw in how we tend to think. See, our brains are wired for linear growth. One simple step at a time, like 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It's easy, it's predictable. But this principle, it operates on exponential growth. 1 becomes 2, which becomes 4, then 8, then 16. The first few steps, they seem small. You almost don't notice them. But very, very quickly, it becomes a total explosion of progress. To really make this tangible, think about that classic paper folding analogy. You fold a piece of paper once, right? It's 2 layers thick. Fold it again. It's 4 layers. A third time, 8 layers. Seems simple enough, but here's the crazy part. If you could physically fold that same piece of paper just 42 times, its thickness would actually reach the moon. That is the counterintuitive, kind of shocking power of doubling. Okay, so that's the principle. And it's a cool idea for sure, but let's move away from the abstract and into the real world. Let's look at how this exponential force is actively changing the tools and the costs inside your business, like right now. Just take data storage, for example, something every single business needs. Back in 1995, 1 gigabyte would have set you back over $1,000. By 2010, that price had crashed to about $1. And by next year, it's projected to be less than 2 cents. This just brilliantly illustrates how this law makes essential business resources incredibly, incredibly cheap and accessible over time.
And this trend isn't just about costs plummeting. It's about performance going through the absolute roof. This is especially true with all the new AI tools for marketing or sales or operations. The performance jumps aren't just doubling anymore. In some areas, we're seeing 5x, even 10x improvements year after year. That exponential curve is getting steeper.
So, here's the crucial question, right? What do you do about it? How do you turn this powerful knowledge into a real-world strategy? Okay, let's get into the playbook and see how this all boils down to 3 simple, actionable rules for any business. Okay, the very first rule for navigating this reality is all about mindset. It's about fundamentally shifting how you look at the entire technology landscape. And here it is. You have to assume that today's magic is tomorrow's baseline. That cutting-edge AI tool, or that super expensive software that seems like a total luxury today, yeah, in 18 months, it's going to be a standard, affordable tool that all your competitors are using every single day. You have to anticipate that curve. All right, rule number 2. This one gets a little more tactical. It's all about your financial and operational strategy. It's really about staying nimble. And that rule is rent, don't own your technology stack. Look, in a world of exponential change, buying expensive hardware or these perpetual software licenses, it's a trap. It just locks you into something that's going to be outdated almost immediately. Instead, you got to lean on cloud-based subscription services, SaaS, that are constantly being updated for you in the background. And that brings us to the final rule, number 3. This one is all about action. It's about creating a culture of, let's call it, intelligent curiosity. You need to experiment constantly with new tools, but, and this is key, on a small scale. You do not need to bet the farm on every shiny new object that comes along, but you absolutely should be dedicating a small bit of time and budget to just trying out the next wave of tools. This kind of low-risk, continuous learning is the only way you're going to find the game changers before they become common knowledge. So, how do we put all this together? It's not about trying to predict the future with perfect accuracy. It's really about having the right framework so you can ride this incredible wave of change instead of being surprised and, frankly, overwhelmed by it. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways from all this. First, you've got to remember that computing power grows exponentially, not in that straight line our brains expect. Second, this force makes incredibly powerful tools cheaper and more accessible every single year. And third, because of all that, your business strategy just has to be flexible, favoring renting over owning, and built on a foundation of constant experimentation. This brings to mind a really powerful observation. The greatest shortcoming of the human mind is our inability to understand the exponential function. And really, if you can truly internalize this concept, if you can overcome that shortcoming, you gain a genuine superpower in business. So I'll leave you with a question to really think about for your own business. Given everything we've just talked about, what's a task in your industry that seems impossible or way too expensive today that this exponential force will make completely possible in, say, the next 2 to 5 years? The answer to that question could be your next huge opportunity.